They found 1,043 pictures on my phone. 1,043 pictures of naked girls. My roommates, my course mates, my friends, girls who trusted me, girls who thought I was their sister. And when they found those pictures, they beat me so badly that I couldn't recognize my own face in the mirror. But you want to know the worst part? I deserved every single blow, every kick, every slap, because for 3 years, I was not their friend. I was their enemy. I was their predator. And I did it all for money. My name is Precious. And this is the story of how I destroyed my life one photograph at a time. This is also the story of how one decision, one moment of weakness, can create a ripple effect that destroys not just your life, but the lives of everyone who ever trusted you. Before I tell you how everything fell apart, let me tell you who I was, or who I pretended to be. Because looking back now, I'm not even sure I knew who I really was anymore. I came from a poor home in Ajagunal, Lagos. And when I say poor, I don't mean the kind of poor where you complain about not having the latest iPhone. I mean the kind of poor where you know the exact sound your stomach makes when it's been empty for 16 hours. The kind of poor where you wear your school uniform until it's so faded you can barely see what color it used to be. The kind of poor where what's for dinner is not a question about choice, but about whether there will be dinner at all. My father was a bus conductor. Every morning, he would wake up at 4:30 before the sun came up and head to the bus park. He would spend all day hanging off the side of those yellow Danfo buses, screaming, "Oshity, Oshity, enter with your change," until his voice went hoarse. He would come home at night smelling of sweat and exhaust fumes, with maybe 2,000 naira in his pocket if it was a good day. 1,500 if it wasn't. My mother sold pure water by the roadside. She would wake up even earlier than my father, at 4 in the morning, to go to the distributor and buy bags of pure water. Then she would find her spot along the Ajagunal-Apapa Expressway and stand there all day, under the hot sun, calling out pure water. Cold pure water to cars passing by. I remember watching her feet. They were always swollen. Swollen from standing all day on the hot asphalt. Sometimes, when she came home at night, she would soak her feet in warm water and salt, and I would see her wince from the pain. But she never complained. Not once. We lived in a face me, I face you compound. One room for our entire family. Me, my parents, and my 2 younger brothers, Michael and Emmanuel. One room where we cooked, ate, slept, and lived. The toilet was outside, shared by 30 other families in the compound. The bathroom was a small cubicle where you had to fetch water in a bucket to bathe. We were not just poor. We were the kind of poor where you eat once a day and call it a blessing. The kind of poor where you know every single person in your compound, because everybody's business is everybody's business. The kind of poor where shame becomes your constant companion, because everywhere you go, people can tell from your appearance, from your clothes, from the way you talk, that you don't have anything. But my parents, they had dreams for me. Big dreams. My father would say to me, "Precious, you are our first child. You are our hope. Education is the only way out of this poverty. We will suffer to send you to school, but you must not fail us." My mother would add, "You are a girl, yes, but that doesn't mean you cannot be successful. Look at all these big women you see on television, lawyers and doctors and professors. That can be you. But you must take your education seriously." So I took it seriously. Very seriously. I was the best student in my secondary school. Every term, I came first in my class. My teachers loved me. My principal would call me to her office sometimes just to encourage me. "Precious, you are going places. Keep it up." When WAC results came out, I had 8 distinctions. 8 A's. In Ajagunal, where many students failed WAC, I had 8 distinctions. My parents threw a small party in our compound. My mother cooked jollof rice and chicken, even though I knew that money was supposed to be for my brother's school fees. But she said, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime achievement. We must celebrate." That night, all our neighbors came to congratulate me. They said, "Precious, you have made your parents proud. You have made all of us in this compound proud. Don't forget us when you become a big person." I smiled and thanked them. But inside, I was already thinking about the future, about how I would leave Ajagunal behind. about how I would become successful and never, ever be poor again. When JAM results came out, I scored 289. That was one of the highest scores in my area. I got admitted to study mass communication at Lagos State University. But there was a problem. School fees. LACE's school fees at that time was not too expensive compared to private universities. But for my parents, it might as well have been $1,000,000. The acceptance letter said I had to pay 95,000 naira for my first semester. 95,000 naira. My father counted all his savings. 27,000 naira. My mother counted hers. 18,000 naira. Together, they had 45,000 naira. We were 50,000 naira short. I watched my father cry that day. I had never seen my father cry before. He was a strong man, a man who worked hard every day without complaining. But that day, he sat on our only chair in our single room and put his head in his hands and wept. I have failed you, he said. I have failed my daughter. What kind of father cannot send his child to university? Papa, it's okay, I said, trying to comfort him. Maybe I can defer for a year. I can work and save money. No, my mother was adamant. You will not defer. You will not waste a year. We will find the money somehow. And somehow they did. My mother's elder sister, my auntie Blessing, borrowed money from her cooperative society. 50,000 naira at a very high interest rate. It would take her 2 years to pay back, but she did it for me. The day my auntie gave my mother the money, I knelt down before her. Auntie, thank you. I will not disappoint you. I will make sure this money is not wasted. She touched my head and said, Precious, I know you will make us proud. Just focus on your studies and graduate well. That is all I ask. I remember the day I left for school. It was a Saturday morning in October. My father borrowed his boss's car to drive me to school. My mother packed all my provisions in a big Ghana must-go bag. 3 pairs of clothes, 1 pair of shoes, some toiletries, and a small pot for cooking. Before we left, my mother held both my hands and looked into my eyes. Precious, listen to me well. We have suffered to send you to this university. We have borrowed money that we don't have. Your auntie has put herself in debt for you. Please, please don't disappoint us. Face your books. Don't follow bad friends. Don't let boys distract you. Just study hard and come back with good results. Can you do that for me? Yes, Mama. I promise. I will make you proud. And remember, my father added, you are from a poor home. You cannot afford to be doing what rich people's children are doing. You cannot afford to fail. This is your only chance. Don't waste it. I won't, Papa. I promise. And I meant it. I really, truly meant it. I had every intention of keeping that promise. If only I knew that some promises are easier to make than to keep. When we got to the campus, I was overwhelmed. Lagos State University was huge. There were big buildings everywhere, students walking around looking confident and happy, cars driving in and out of the gates. It was like entering a different world. My father helped me carry my bag to the female hostel. The hostel matron checked her list and said, Precious Adeyemi, you're in Block B, Room 23. Room 23. If I had known that those 2 words would become synonymous with my downfall, maybe I would have begged to be assigned to a different room. But we don't know the future, do we? We walk into our destinies blindly, 1 step at a time. We climbed up the stairs to the 2nd floor. The hostel smelled of fresh paint and new beginnings. My father knocked on the door of room 23. A girl opened the door. She was beautiful, wearing a nice dress, and her hair was properly made. She smiled when she saw us. Hello, you must be the new roommate. Come in, come in. The room was bigger than our entire single room in Ajigunle. It had 6 bunk beds, 6 reading tables, 6 wardrobes, and still had space for us to move around. 5 girls were already in the room, arranging their things. Everyone, we have a new roommate, the girl who opened the door announced. What's your name? Precious, I said quietly. Precious Adeyemi. Welcome, Precious. I'm Blessing. That's Chioma over there. That's Kayamaka. That's Jennifer, and that's Taupe. They all greeted me warmly. My father helped me settle my things on one of the lower bunks. Then he pulled me aside. My daughter, I have to go now. Your mother is waiting for me at home. Remember everything we told you. Study hard. Don't follow bad company. Make us proud. He hugged me tight, and I could feel him trembling. When he pulled away, his eyes were wet. Papa, don't worry. I will make you proud. He nodded, unable to speak, and then he left. I stood in the middle of that room, watching my roommates unpack their things, and I realized something that made my stomach tight. I didn't belong here. These girls were different from me. Very different. Chioma was unpacking boxes and boxes of provisions. Cornflakes, Milo, milk, chocolate, biscuits, noodles, sardines, canned fish, cooking ingredients, fruit juice, beverages. She had more provisions than my family bought in 6 months. Blessing was arranging her clothes in her wardrobe. I counted at least 20 different outfits. Beautiful dresses, skirts, trousers, tops, all color coordinated and neatly arranged. I had 3 outfits. Total. Kayamika was on the phone speaking in what sounded like Igbo mixed with English. Mummy. Yes, I've settled in. No, the room is nice. Okay, when you send the money, I'll use it to buy whatever I need. Yes, Mummy. Love you too. Jennifer's father was a politician. I knew this because when her parents came to drop her off, they came in a convoy of 3 cars. 3 cars. For one girl. Her father's security detail waited outside while her mother helped her arrange her things. Her mother was wearing jewelry that probably cost more than my father would make in his entire lifetime. And Taupe, sweet Taupe with her easy laugh and her friendly nature, casually mentioned that her family owned a filling station in Ikorodu. It's not a big one, she said modestly. Just a small family business. A filling station. A whole filling station. Me. I was the poor one. The one who wore the same 3 outfits every week and hoped nobody would notice. The one who had to carefully ration the small provisions my mother had packed because there was no money for more. But you know what surprised me? These girls were kind. They were genuinely kind. That first week, they noticed I wasn't eating much. One afternoon, Chioma came to sit beside me. Precious, is the food not good? You've been eating only bread and groundnuts since you came. Oh no, the food is fine. I'm still adjusting. She smiled. Don't worry. We're cooking rice tonight. You'll join us, right? I don't have money to contribute. The room went quiet for a moment. Then Blessing said, Who asked you for money? We're roommates. We're family now. When we cook, we all eat. It doesn't matter who paid. But, Jennifer interrupted. That's how we do things here. Today I pay. Tomorrow Kayamika pays. Next week Taupe pays. We're in this together. Exactly, Taupe added. Besides, you can contribute when you have money. Don't stress yourself. I felt tears pricking my eyes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Why are you crying? Kayamika teased gently. We haven't even added pepper to the rice yet. We all laughed, and just like that, I felt accepted. Over the next few weeks, I settled into university life. Classes started, and I threw myself into my studies the way I had always done. I was determined to finish with a first-class degree. My roommates and I became close. Real close. Chioma was the motherly one. She was always checking on everyone, making sure we had eaten, making sure we were okay. If anyone was sick, Chioma was the first to notice and the first to take care of them. Her father was a medical doctor, and she was studying to be a pharmacist. She would bring medications from home and treat us for free whenever we were ill. Blessing was the fashion one. She loved clothes and makeup and looking good. Every Sunday, she would lay out all her outfits and do a fashion show for us, asking us which dress she should wear to church. She was fun and lively and always had something funny to say. Kayamika was the smart one. She was studying law and was brilliant at it. When we had assignments we didn't understand, Kayamika would explain it to us in simple terms. She was patient and kind and never made anyone feel stupid for not understanding something. Jennifer was the quiet one, like me. She was studying accounting and was very serious about her grades. We would often study together late into the night, both of us determined to excel in our courses. And Taupe. Taupe was the spiritual one. Every morning at 6, she would wake up for morning devotion. She would pray out loud, praying for everyone in the room by name. Lord, bless Precious with wisdom for her studies. Bless Chioma with good health. Bless Blessing with favor. Her faith was real and pure and strong. They were good people, all of them, and they treated me like their sister. When I needed to print assignments and had no money, Chioma would pay. Don't worry, precious. We're roommates. We're family now. When my clothes were old and faded, Blessing would give me some of hers. Precious, this dress doesn't fit me anymore. It's your size. Take it. When I was struggling with an assignment, Kayamiko would sit with me for hours, explaining it until I understood. Don't rush. Take your time. You'll get it. When I didn't have data to browse the internet, Jennifer would share her hotspot with me. Use my data. I have plenty. And Taupe would include me in her morning prayers. Lord, we thank you for Precious. She is our sister. Bless her and her family. Family. They called me family. I was the quiet one in the room. The one who always had her head in her books. The one who never went to parties. The religious one who prayed every morning and every night. Who went to church every Sunday. Who quoted Bible verses when anyone had a problem. Precious is going to heaven straight, Taupe would joke. No stopping at purgatory for this one. She's a saint, Blessing would add. Our own angel in room 23. If only they knew. If only they knew that angels can fall. That saints can become sinners. That the person who prays the loudest sometimes has the darkest secrets. If only they knew what was living inside my heart. Everything changed in my second month of 100 level. It was a Tuesday afternoon, and I was at the school's internet cafe. I had an assignment to submit online, but my data had finished. I didn't have money to buy more data, and I was getting desperate because the deadline was in 2 hours. The internet cafe was crowded as usual. Students everywhere, typing furiously on computers, printing documents, arguing about whose turn it was to use the printer. I managed to get a computer, and I was trying to upload my assignment when the system froze. It just froze. I clicked and clicked, but nothing happened. No, I muttered, panic rising in my chest. Please, don't do this to me. A guy sitting next to me glanced over. Problem. My computer froze, and I need to submit this assignment in the next hour. Restart it. I restarted it. Waited. The computer came back on, but now it was saying I needed to log in again, which meant I would have to pay for another hour. I didn't have money for another hour. I put my head in my hands, feeling tears of frustration building up. Hey, the guy said, don't cry. Use my laptop. I'm just browsing. I can wait. I looked up at him properly for the first time. He was not a student. He looked older, maybe in his early 30s. He was well dressed, wearing a nice shirt and jeans, and he had a laptop in front of him. Really? You would let me use your laptop? Sure. Just be quick. Thank you so much. God bless you. He smiled and moved his laptop closer to me. I quickly opened my email, uploaded my assignment, and submitted it. 5 minutes. That's all it took. Done, I said, relief flooding through me. Thank you so much, sir. It's nothing. Glad I could help. I was about to get up and leave when I accidentally glanced at his screen. He had minimized his browser while I was using his laptop, but now he had opened it again. It was some kind of website. A website with pictures of women. Many pictures. The women were wearing revealing clothes. Some were in bikinis, and some were wearing nothing at all. I quickly looked away, embarrassed. He noticed. Oh, sorry about that. I should have closed that window. It's okay. I'm sorry for looking at your screen. No worries. You like photography. I shook my head quickly. No, sir. I didn't mean to. He smiled. A friendly smile. An honest smile. The kind of smile that makes you relax and trust a person. That smile was the beginning of my destruction. Relax, he said. I'm not doing anything bad. I run a website. A modeling website. We connect brands with models for advertising. Modeling website? Yes. You know how companies need to advertise their products, right? Clothes, shoes, beauty products, all that. They need models. So we have models who send us their pictures and we connect them with these companies. The companies pay us, we pay the models. Everybody makes money. It sounded legitimate. It sounded like a real business. That's interesting, I said, not really knowing what else to say. Yeah, it's a good business. And we're always looking for new models. He paused, looked at me thoughtfully. You know, you're pretty. You could be a model. I laughed. Me? No, sir. I'm not model material. Why not? You're tall. You have a good figure. You're beautiful. That's all you need. Thank you, but I'm here to study. I don't have time for modeling. Fair enough. But I'm just saying, if you ever need to make some extra money, it's an option. We pay very well. I was about to say no thanks and leave, but then he said something that made my ears stand up. Something that changed everything. Some of our models make up to 200,000 naira a month. I froze. What? 200,000 naira? Some make even more, depending on how many bookings they get. 200,000 naira. That was more than my father made in 6 months of hanging from buses in the sun. More than my mother made in a year of selling pure water by the roadside. Really? I asked, trying to keep my voice calm, trying to hide the way my heart had suddenly started racing. Really? And the work is not hard. Just take pictures and send them to us. We handle everything else. The negotiations with clients, the marketing, everything. The models just take pictures. He brought out a card from his wallet and handed it to me. The card was simple. White background, black text. It said Tony Nwachukwu, Model Management and Brand Partnerships. There was an email address and a phone number. If you're interested, send me an email. Even if you don't want to model yourself, maybe you know other girls who might be interested. We pay referral fees too. I took the card, my hand trembling slightly. Okay, thank you. No problem. Good luck with your studies. I left the internet cafe in a daze. I went back to my hostel, but I couldn't focus on anything. I kept thinking about what Tony had said. 200,000 naira a month. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in my bunk, staring at the ceiling, listening to my roommate's gentle breathing, and I thought about money. About all the things I could do with 200,000 naira. I could pay my own school fees. I wouldn't have to depend on my parents anymore. I could buy new clothes and stop wearing the same 3 outfits every week. I could eat whatever I wanted without worrying about the cost. I could send money home to help my parents. I could pay back my auntie for the money she borrowed for my school fees. I could stop being the poor one. The next morning, I took out Tony's card from my bag and stared at it for a long time. My phone was in my hand. All I had to do was send an email. But something stopped me. A voice in my head. My mother's voice. My father's voice. My pastor's voice. They were all saying the same thing. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I put the card away. For 3 days, I tried to forget about it. I went to lectures, I studied, I ate with my roommates, I went to church on Sunday and sang praises to God. But the card was always in my bag. And the idea was always in my mind. 200,000 naira. On the 4th day, I sent Tony an email. Just a simple email. Hello, this is Precious. We met at the internet cafe last Tuesday. I'm interested in learning more about the modeling opportunity. I sent it at night, after everyone had gone to sleep. My hands were shaking as I pressed send. I told myself I was just asking for information, just exploring my options. I wasn't committing to anything. He replied within an hour. Hi, Precious. Great to hear from you. I'm glad you reached out. Let me explain how our business works. And then he explained it. In detail, how models would send in their pictures, how those pictures would be uploaded to a secure website where brands could view them, how the brands would select models for their campaigns, how the models would get paid. It all sounded so professional, so legitimate. I asked him, what kind of pictures do you need? All kinds, he replied. Profile pictures, full body pictures, pictures in different outfits. The more variety, the better. Brands want to see different looks. And how much do you pay? It depends on the quality and quantity of pictures. For a basic portfolio of 20 good pictures, we pay about 50,000 naira. For premium portfolios, we pay much more. 50,000 naira for 20 pictures. That was a lot of money. Okay, I typed back. Let me think about it. No problem. Take your time. But just so you know, we have a lot of models on our books. The ones who succeed are the ones who act fast. Opportunities in this industry don't wait for anyone. I sat there for a long time, my phone in my hand, my heart pounding. 50,000 naira. for just 20 pictures. The next day, I took some selfies. About 15 of them. Different angles, different expressions. I was wearing one of the dresses Blessing had given me. I sent them to Tony. He replied quickly, "Nice pictures, but we need full body shots. And we need variety. Can you take pictures in different outfits?" I took more pictures. Borrowed more clothes from my roommates without them knowing. Took pictures in the hostel room when they were all at lectures. Full body pictures. Side angles. Back angles. I sent 30 pictures to Tony. He replied, "These are good. But these are basic modeling pictures. If you want to make real money, you need to send premium pictures." "What are premium pictures?" There was a pause. For almost an hour, he didn't reply. Then, finally, his message came. Premium pictures are pictures that most models are not willing to take. Pictures in revealing outfits, bikinis, lingerie, that kind of thing. The brands that pay the most money want those kinds of pictures. My heart sank. I knew it. I knew there had to be a catch. "I can't take pictures like that," I replied. "I'm a Christian. I understand. No problem. You can stick to basic modeling. But just so you know, basic models make about 20 to 30,000 naira a month. Premium models make 200,000 and above. 20 to 30,000 versus 200,000. Let me think about it," I typed. "Sure. But I have to be honest with you, Precious. We have many models already. If you're not willing to do premium content, there are 10 other girls waiting to take your place." I put down my phone and sat on my bed, my mind racing. That night I prayed. I prayed for a long time. "God, please help me. Show me what to do. I need money, God. I really need money. But I don't want to do anything wrong. Please guide me." But God's voice was silent. Or maybe I just wasn't listening. The next morning, I sent Tony another email. "What if I don't take pictures of myself? What if I send you pictures of other girls?" I waited. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. His reply came fast. "What do you mean?" "I mean, I'm in a female hostel. I have roommates. What if I take pictures of them?" Another pause. Then, "Do they know you would be taking these pictures?" I hesitated. My hands were shaking. I was standing at a crossroads, and I knew that what I typed next would determine my future. "No," I typed. "They wouldn't know." And just like that, I crossed over. From innocent to guilty. From victim to victimizer. From precious to predator. Tony's response was almost immediate. "Perfect. That's even better. Here's what I'll pay you. 150,000 naira for every album of 10 good, clear pictures. The pictures must be of different girls. They must be taken without the girls knowing. Can you do this? 150,000 naira. For 10 pictures." I thought about my mother's swollen feet. I thought about my father's bent back. I thought about my brother who had dropped out of school. I thought about my auntie who had borrowed money at a high interest rate. I thought about all of this, and I made a decision that would haunt me for the rest of my life. "Yes," I typed. "I can do it." Taking the first picture was the hardest thing I ever did. I planned it for days. I watched my roommates' routines. I noted the times they showered. I observed which bathroom stalls they preferred. I studied the layout of our shared bathroom. Our bathroom in the hostel was not like the ones you see in rich people's houses. It was a communal bathroom on each floor. 6 shower stalls separated by chest-high walls and short curtains. The curtains didn't even reach the ceiling. They stopped about 6 feet up, which meant if you were tall enough, or if you stood on your toes, you could see over them. I am tall, 5 feet 9 inches. Very tall for a Nigerian girl. I picked Kayamaka first, not because I hated her, not because she had done anything wrong, but because she was the most trusting, the most innocent, the easiest target. It was a Friday evening. Everyone had come back from lectures. The room was busy with activity. People were changing clothes, gisting, laughing, making plans for the weekend. "I'm going to shower," Kayamaka announced, picking up her towel and bathing bucket. "Okay, dear," Chioma replied. "Don't take too long. We need to cook dinner soon." Kayamaka left the room. I waited exactly 3 minutes. Enough time for her to undress and step into the shower. Enough time for the sound of running water to fill the bathroom. My heart was pounding. My palms were sweating. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my phone. I need to use the toilet, I said, standing up. Okay, Blessing said, not even looking up from her phone. I walked out of the room, down the corridor. Every step felt like I was walking towards my own damnation. I could have turned back. Even then, even at that moment, I could have turned back. But I didn't. I entered the bathroom. The air was thick with steam and the smell of soap. I could hear water running in the third shower stall. That's where Kayamika was. I went into the toilet first, sat down, tried to calm my racing heart. I was sweating despite the cool air. My phone was in my hand, camera already open. God forgive me, I whispered. God forgive me. But I knew God wouldn't forgive me for what I was about to do, because I wasn't asking for strength to resist. I was asking for permission to sin. I came out of the toilet, looked around. The bathroom was empty except for Kayamika in the shower. I moved closer to her stall, stood right outside the curtain. I could hear her singing softly to herself. She was singing a worship song. What a faithful God I serve. What a faithful God I serve. My hands were shaking so badly. I took a deep breath, raised my phone above the curtain, stood on my toes, looked at my screen. There she was, Kayamika, my roommate, my friend, my sister, naked, vulnerable, trusting. Click. The sound of my camera shutter was so loud in my ears, it was like a gunshot. But the sound of the running water covered it. Kayamika kept singing, completely unaware that her privacy had just been violated, unaware that her dignity had just been stolen. I lowered my phone and ran out of the bathroom like I was being chased by demons. Maybe I was. I locked myself in our room's small toilet cubicle, sat on the toilet seat, looked at the picture. It was blurry. You couldn't see her face clearly. It wasn't good enough for what Tony wanted. I felt relief. It's not good enough, I thought. I can't do this. It's a sign from God. I should stop. But I didn't stop. That night, I lay in my bed, unable to sleep. Kayamika was in the bunk above me, sleeping peacefully. I could hear her gentle breathing. I looked at the blurry picture on my phone. Tony's words echoed in my mind. 150,000 naira for 10 good pictures. Good pictures. Clear pictures. I needed to try again. Over the next 2 weeks, I became an expert. I learned the best angles. I learned how to steady my hand. I learned how to adjust my camera settings for better quality in the steamy bathroom. I learned which stalls had the best lighting. I learned the best time to take pictures when the bathroom was busy enough that no one would notice me hanging around, but not so busy that I couldn't get clear shots. I took pictures of Kayamika again. This time they were clear, crystal clear. Then I took pictures of Blessing, then Taupe, then Jennifer, then Chioma. Each time, I died a little inside. Each time, I felt my soul shrinking, darkening, rotting. But each time, it got easier. That's the thing about sin. The first time is hard. The second time is easier. By the 10th time, it feels normal. After 2 weeks, I had collected 10 pictures. 10 different girls. All of them clear. All of them explicit. All of them taken without consent. I sat in my bed one night, looking at these pictures, feeling sick to my stomach. These were my friends, my sisters, people who had shown me nothing but kindness. What am I doing? I whispered to myself. What have I become? But then I thought about the money. I thought about my father hanging from those buses. I thought about my mother's swollen feet. I thought about the debt Mayani had taken because of me. I sent the pictures to Tony. 2 hours later, my phone vibrated. It was a bank alert. Credit alert. Your account has been credited with NGN 150,000.00 from Nwachuku Anthony. Your new balance is NGN 152,347.00. I stared at that message for a long time. 150,000 naira. Just like that. For 10 pictures that took me 2 weeks to collect. I should have felt guilty. I should have felt ashamed. I should have felt like the criminal I had become. But instead, I felt something else. Something dark and intoxicating. I felt power. For the first time in my life, I had money. Real money. Money that I didn't have to beg for. Money that I didn't have to feel ashamed about. Money that was mine. I logged into my bank app and just stared at the balance. 152,000 naira. I had never seen that much money in my account before. Never. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not because of guilt, but because of excitement, because of possibility, because of dreams. I started calculating. If I could make 150,000 every 2 weeks, that was 300,000 naira a month. 300,000 naira. That was more than my father made in a year. In 1 year, I could make 3.6 million naira. 3.6 million naira. With that kind of money, I could pay my school fees for all 4 years. I could help my parents. I could help my brothers. I could rent my own apartment off campus. I could buy a car. I could live the life I had always dreamed of. All I had to do was take pictures. The next morning, I did something I had been wanting to do for months. I went to the school cafeteria and ordered a proper breakfast. Fried eggs, sausages, bread, tea, orange juice. The whole thing cost me 800 naira. 800 naira. Before, I would have said that was too expensive. I would have bought just bread and groundnut for 150 naira and called it breakfast. But that morning, I didn't care. I had money. I could afford it. I sat down at a table and ate slowly, savoring every bite. The eggs were perfectly fried. The sausages were juicy. The bread was fresh and soft. The orange juice was cold and sweet. This was what it felt like to have money. This was what it felt like to not worry about every naira you spent. I liked it. I liked it very much. When I finished eating, I went to the school's shopping complex. I bought new underwear. I bought toiletries. I bought snacks and drinks. I bought a new phone charger because my old one was spoiled. I bought a small reading lamp for my bed. I spent 15,000 naira that morning. 15,000 naira in a few hours. And I didn't feel guilty. I felt free. When I got back to the hostel, my roommates were amazed. Precious, what happened? You went on a shopping spree. Blessing asked, looking at all my bags. I had some money saved up. I decided to treat myself. Good for you, Chioma said. You deserve it. You've been managing for too long. If only she knew where that money came from. That afternoon, I went to a phone shop and bought a new smartphone. A Techno Common. It cost me 35,000 naira. It had a good camera. A very good camera. Much better than my old phone. I needed a good camera for my new business. Yes, that's what I called it now. My business. It made it sound legitimate. Professional. It made it easier to justify what I was doing. Over the next few months, I perfected my craft. I learned to be invisible. I learned to be patient. I learned to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect angle, the perfect lighting. I expanded my operation beyond my roommates. I started taking pictures of girls from other rooms who came to visit us. Girls who came to use our bathroom when theirs was not working. Girls I met in the general bathroom on our floor. I created a system. I would make friends with girls, be nice to them, help them with assignments, lend them money, gain their trust. Then, when the opportunity came, I would take their pictures. I became very good at reading people. I knew which girls were careful and which ones were carefree. I knew which ones would notice if something was off and which ones wouldn't. Every 2 weeks, I would send Tony a new album. 10 pictures, 10 different girls, sometimes more. And every 2 weeks, 150,000 naira would appear in my account. By the end of my first year, I had made close to 2 million naira. 2 million naira. I paid my school fees for second year in full. No more begging. No more borrowing. I just walked into the bank, made the transfer, and got my payment receipt. I sent 200,000 naira home to my parents. When my mother called me, she was crying so hard she could barely speak. Precious, where is this money coming from? Your father and I are worried. Are you doing something bad? No, Mama. I told you. I have a small business. I help people with their assignments. I also do some online freelancing work. It's all legitimate. The lies were coming easier now. They rolled off my tongue smooth as butter. Are you sure? You're not doing runs? You're not dating a Yahoo boy. You're not. Mama, please. You know me. Would I do something like that? I'm working hard, that's all. My father took the phone from her. Precious, your mother and I thank God for you every day. You're a blessing to this family. Keep it up. We're proud of you. Proud. They were proud of me. I hung up the phone and sat on my bed in silence. The money I had sent them was in their account. Money that came from violating other people's daughters. Money that came from betraying people who trusted me. But I pushed those thoughts away. I was helping my family. That's what mattered. That's what I told myself. By the beginning of my second year, my life had completely transformed. I moved out of the hostel and rented my own self-contained apartment in a nice area off campus. It cost me 120,000 naira per year. I furnished it properly. A nice bed, a wardrobe, a reading table, a small fridge, a television. My roommates were happy for me. Look at Precious, moving up in the world. Taupe said with genuine joy. Your business must be booming, Jennifer added. It is, I said with a smile. A fake smile that I had perfected. But even though I had moved off campus, I maintained my friendship with my former roommates. I would visit them regularly, eat with them, study with them, go to church with them, and sometimes, when the opportunity presented itself, I would still take their pictures. Yes, even after I had moved out, even after I had enough money, I kept taking pictures, because it wasn't just about the money anymore. It had become something else. Something darker. It had become an addiction. Tony was always asking for more. My clients love your content. They're asking for more. Can you send me 20 pictures instead of 10? I'll pay you 300,000. 300,000 naira for 20 pictures. I couldn't say no. I bought a small external hard drive to store all the pictures. My phone's memory was getting full. I had taken hundreds of pictures by then. Hundreds. I created a system for organizing them. Folders by date, subfolders by location, tags with the girls' names, though I often didn't know their names. It was like a collection, like some people collect stamps or coins. I collected pictures of girls. That's how sick I had become. By the middle of my second year, I bought a car. A used Toyota Corolla. It cost me 750,000 naira. It was 13 years old, but it worked well. It was clean. It was mine. When I drove to Ajigunal to show my parents, the whole compound came out to see. My father couldn't stop touching the car, running his hands over the hood, opening and closing the doors. My daughter has bought a car, he kept saying over and over. My daughter has bought a car. People from the compound gathered around, congratulating him, congratulating my mother, congratulating me. Precious, you've made it, oh. Education is really good, oh. Your parents trained you well. My mother held my hand and squeezed it tight. I knew you would make us proud. I knew it. I should have felt happy. I should have felt proud. But all I felt was empty. Hollow. Like there was a dark hole inside me that kept growing bigger and bigger, no matter how much money I made, no matter how many things I bought. That night, lying in my childhood bed in our single room, I had a dream. A nightmare, really. I was in a courtroom. All the girls whose pictures I had taken were there. Hundreds of them. They were standing in rows, all of them pointing at me. Thief, they shouted. Betrayer. Monster. I tried to run, but I couldn't move. My feet were stuck to the floor. Then my roommate stepped forward. Chioma, Blessing, Kayamika, Jennifer, Taupe. They were crying. We trusted you, Chioma said. We loved you. We called you our sister. How could you? Blessing asked. How could you do this to us? I woke up sweating, my heart pounding. The room was dark. I could hear my brothers breathing softly in their sleep. My parents were snoring gently on their mat on the floor. I got up and went outside. Our compound was quiet. The stars were bright in the sky. I looked up at those stars and I prayed. For the first time in months, I prayed with real honesty. God, what have I become? What am I doing? Please help me. Please stop me. But even as I prayed, I knew the truth. God couldn't stop me. Only I could stop myself. And I didn't want to stop. Because stopping would mean giving up the money, giving up the lifestyle, going back to being poor. And I couldn't do that. I couldn't go back to eating once a day. I couldn't go back to wearing the same 3 clothes every week. I couldn't go back to being the poor girl who everyone pitied. So I made a decision that night. I would continue, but I would set a limit. I would do this until I graduated. For years. Just 4 years. Then I would stop. I would delete all the pictures, quit the business, and start fresh. For years. I could do this for 4 years. It was a compromise with my conscience, a deal with the devil. And like all deals with the devil, it would cost me everything. By my 3rd year, I had become two different people. There was public Precious, the successful student, the good friend, the devoted Christian, the girl who helped her family, the girl everyone admired. And then there was private Precious, the predator, the thief, the betrayer, the girl with over 1,000 pictures on her phone. Keeping these two identities separate was exhausting. During the day, I would go to lectures, take notes, participate in class discussions. I maintained a good GPA. I was on track to graduate with a 2nd-class upper. My lecturers liked me because I was serious and hardworking. After lectures, I would hang out with my friends. We would go to the cafeteria together, eat together, laugh together. Sometimes we would go to the cinema or to the mall. I would pay for everyone's tickets, everyone's food. I was the generous one, the successful one, the one who had made it. On Sundays, I went to church. I sang in the choir. I joined a Bible study group. I volunteered to help with Sunday school. People in church looked up to me. Sister Precious is such a blessing, the pastor would say. Young people should learn from her. See how she's using her success to help others and serve God. But behind closed doors in my self-contained apartment, I was someone else entirely. I had turned my apartment into my base of operations. I had installed special editing software on my laptop. I would spend hours editing the pictures, making them clearer, adjusting the lighting, cropping them perfectly. Tony had taught me what his clients wanted. They want clear pictures. They want to see faces. They want variety. So I gave him variety. Girls of different sizes, different complexions, different ages. 1st years, 2nd years, 3rd years, even some 4th year students. My phone had become my most precious possession. More precious than my car. More precious than anything. I had over 1,000 pictures stored on that phone and on my external hard drive. 1,000 different violations. 1,000 stolen moments. 1,000 betrayals. And I was obsessively protective of it. If anyone tried to touch my phone, I would react like they were trying to steal my kidney. I would snatch it away immediately, my heart racing with panic. Precious, why are you so paranoid about your phone? Blessing asked me one day when we were hanging out. I don't like people touching my things. But it's just a phone. It's not like we're going to steal it. I know. It's just, I have important stuff on it. Business stuff. Client information. You understand. They thought I was weird, but they accepted it. Precious and her phone, they would joke. That thing is like her baby. Don't touch it or she'll bite your hand off. If only they knew why I was so protective. The money kept rolling in. By the middle of my 3rd year, I had made over 5 million naira. 5 million naira. I had paid all my school fees. I had helped my parents renovate our room in Ajigunal. I had paid for my brother Michael to go to a good secondary school. I had helped my auntie pay back the loan she took for my 1st year fees. I had everything I wanted. A car, a nice apartment, good clothes, enough money to eat whatever I wanted, go wherever I wanted, buy whatever I wanted. But I was not happy. Not at all. I stopped sleeping well. Every night I would have nightmares. Dreams of being exposed. Dreams of being arrested. Dreams of all the girls whose pictures I had taken surrounding me, cursing me, attacking me. I would wake up at 3 in the morning, sweating and shaking. I would check my phone compulsively, making sure all the pictures were still safely hidden, making sure no one had accessed them. I started developing paranoia. When people looked at me, I would wonder if they knew, if somehow they had found out, if they were plotting against me. When my roommates would whisper among themselves, I would assume they were talking about me, suspicious of me. I couldn't look people in the eye anymore, especially not my former roommates, especially not Chioma. Chioma had been so good to me. From the very first day, she had treated me like her sister. When I was poor and had nothing, she shared everything with her. Her food, her money, her clothes, her kindness. And how did I repay her? by taking pictures of her without her knowledge, by selling those pictures to strangers on the internet. I had 12 pictures of Chioma, 12 different violations, more than any other single person. Whenever I saw her now, guilt would choke me. I would make excuses to leave quickly. I stopped hanging out with her as much as I used to. "Precious, are you okay?" she asked me one day. We were in their hostel room, just the two of us. The others had gone to class. "I'm fine." "Why? You've been distant for months now. You're always in a hurry to leave. You don't talk to us the way you used to. Did we do something to offend you?" No, of course not. I've just been busy with school and my business. You know how it is." She looked at me with those kind eyes, those trusting eyes. "Precious, we're worried about you. You're always alone now. You don't come to church with us anymore. You look tired all the time. What's going on?" I wanted to tell her. In that moment, I wanted to tell her everything. I wanted to confess, to ask for forgiveness, to cry on her shoulder and tell her what I had become. But I couldn't, because confession would mean consequences. It would mean losing everything. It would mean going to prison. So instead, I lied. Again. "I'm fine, Chioma. Really, I'm just stressed from school. You know third year is tough." "I know. But don't forget, we're here for you. We're still your sisters. No matter what. No matter what." Those words haunted me for days. Would they still be my sisters if they knew the truth? Would they still stand by me if they found out what I had done to them? I knew the answer. No, of course not. No one would stand by someone who had violated them the way I had violated these girls. I tried to distance myself from them. I thought maybe if I stayed away, the guilt would be easier to bear. But Tony kept asking for more pictures, and I kept taking them. It was like an addiction. I couldn't stop, even when I wanted to. Even when I told myself, this is the last time. There was always a next time. I started taking risks, stupid risks. I began taking pictures in more daring situations, in changing rooms at the mall, in the gym showers at the campus sports complex, even in public bathrooms at restaurants. I told myself I was being smart. I was being careful. I would never get caught. Pride comes before a fall. The Bible says that. I should have listened. By the end of third year, I had 1,043 pictures. I know the exact number because I counted them obsessively. I had them organized in a special encrypted folder on my phone. 1,043 stolen moments. 1,043 violations of trust. 1,043 reasons why I deserved everything that was about to happen to me. The beginning of my downfall came from the most unlikely source. Laziness. It was the first week of second semester, 300 level. Everyone was back from break. The hostel was buzzing with activity. Girls were unpacking, sharing stories from their holidays, catching up with friends. I had driven to campus in my car. I was living off campus, but I still visited the hostel regularly, partly to maintain my friendships, partly to maintain my business. That Friday afternoon, I was in room 23 with my former roommates. We were all just hanging out, gisting, eating snacks, laughing. My phone was on the bed beside me. I was scrolling through Instagram, looking at pictures, making comments. But I was also doing something else, something I had done 100 times before. I was scrolling through my special folder, looking at my collection, admiring my work. Yes, that's how twisted I had become. I would look at those pictures and feel pride. Pride in how many I had collected. Pride in how clear they were. Pride in my skill. I was scrolling through the pictures absent-mindedly, half paying attention to the conversation in the room, when Taupe stood up from her reading table. My phone just died. Precious, can I use your phone to check something on WhatsApp real quick? I'm expecting an important message from my project supervisor. My heart stopped. In that split second, I looked down at my phone screen. I was in the middle of my gallery, in the middle of my secret folder. Right there on my screen was a picture of a girl. I jumped up like someone had electrocuted me, clutching the phone to my chest. No, the word came out louder than I intended, harsher than I intended. Everyone in the room turned to look at me. Taupe stepped back, shocked. Precious, why you shout like that? Not just WhatsApp I want check. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would burst out of my chest. Use someone else's phone. Mine is. I'm using it. But you were just scrolling through Instagram. You're not doing anything important. I said no. My voice was shrill now. Panicked. Blessing sat up on her bed. Precious, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting so strange? I'm not acting strange. I just don't like people using my phone. You all know that. We know that, Jennifer said slowly. But this is different. You're acting like you're hiding something. I'm not hiding anything. But my voice betrayed me. It cracked. It shook. Chioma, who had been quiet, stood up from her bed. She walked closer to me, her eyes searching my face. Precious, what's on that phone? Nothing. Why are you all interrogating me? It's my phone. My property. Nobody is interrogating you, Kayamika said. But you have to admit your behavior is suspicious. What are you so afraid of? I looked around the room. All 5 of them were staring at me now. Suspicion written all over their faces. I should have played it cool. I should have just locked my phone and made a joke about it. I should have laughed it off. But I panicked. And panic makes you do stupid things. You know what? I'm leaving. I don't need this. I grabbed my bag and headed for the door. But Blessing was faster. She moved and stood in front of the door, blocking my path. Precious, you're not leaving until you tell us what's going on. What are you hiding on that phone? Move, Blessing. I'm not joking. Neither am I. What are you hiding? Nothing. Get out of my way. Then prove it, Jennifer said, standing up. If there's nothing to hide, then let us see the phone. This is ridiculous. You have no right. We have no right. Taupe's voice was rising now. We've been your friends for 3 years. We've shared everything with you. We've treated you like our sister. And you can't even let us look at your phone for 2 seconds? That's not fair. This is my personal property. And we're not trying to violate your privacy, Chioma said, her voice still calm but firm. But your reaction is not normal, Precious. You're acting like you have something terrible on that phone. And that scares us. There's nothing terrible. I just value my privacy. Liar, Blessing said flatly. You're lying. I can see it on your face. And then she lunged. It happened so fast. One moment she was standing by the door. The next moment she had grabbed my phone from my hand. No, I screamed, reaching for it. Give it back. Give it back now. But Taupe and Jennifer grabbed my arms, holding me back. Let her check it, Precious, Jennifer said. If you have nothing to hide, calm down. Please, I begged, struggling against them. Please don't. Please. But it was too late. Blessing was holding my phone. She tried to unlock it. It's locked. What's the password? I won't tell you. Tears were streaming down my face now. Please, Blessing. Please. Just give me back my phone. I'll leave. I'll never come back here. Just give it back. The desperation in my voice made it worse. It confirmed their suspicions. Kayamika suddenly spoke up. Wait, I know her password. I saw her type it in one day by mistake. It's 0712. Kayamika, no. I screamed. Please, don't. But Blessing was already typing it in. 0-7-1-2. The phone unlocked. For a few seconds, there was silence. Blessing was looking at my screen, at my gallery, at the folder that was still open. Her face went pale, then red, then pale again. Jesus Christ, she whispered. What? Chioma rushed over. What did you find? Blessing turned the phone screen towards everyone. Her hand was shaking. On the screen was my gallery, my special folder, filled with thumbnail images. Hundreds of them, all of them girls. The room exploded with noise. Oh my God, what is this? Are those? Is that me? Kayamika grabbed the phone, her hands shaking. She started scrolling, and scrolling, and scrolling. I watched her face change. Confusion, shock, horror, recognition. These are pictures of me, she said, her voice barely a whisper. These are pictures of me in the bathroom. Oh my God. Oh my God, Precious, what did you do? What did you do? She was crying now. Big, heaving sobs. I couldn't speak. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was watching this happen to someone else. Like I was outside my body, watching my life crumble. Chioma took the phone from Kayamika. She scrolled through the folder, her face getting paler with each picture. These are all of us, she said. Pictures of all of us. In the bathroom, getting dressed. Pictures we didn't know you were taking. She looked up at me, and the expression on her face broke something inside me. It wasn't anger. It was worse. It was hurt. Deep, devastating hurt. Precious, her voice was shaking. How could you? We trusted you. We loved you. We treated you like our sister. How could you do this to us? I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Taupe let go of my arm and stepped back. Sorry? You took pictures of us. You violated us. You betrayed us. And all you can say is sorry. Jennifer was looking at the phone over Chioma's shoulder, scrolling through the pictures. Suddenly she stopped. Wait. This picture is from last week. I remember that day. That was last week when I came to shower here because the water in my hostel wasn't running. She looked up at me, horror dawning on her face. You're still doing this? You're still taking pictures? Even after you moved out? Even after you got all your money? Blessing was scrolling through something else on my phone now. My WhatsApp. There's a conversation here, she said, her voice hollow, with someone named Tony. She started reading out loud. Thank you for the new album. Payment sent. Your clients are very satisfied with the quality. Great. I'll send you more next week. I have some fresh content. Perfect. Keep up the good work. You're my best supplier. The room went completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. Then Chioma spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. You sold our pictures? You sold our pictures to strangers on the internet. I fell to my knees. The weight of what I had done, the enormity of my betrayal, crashed down on me all at once. Please, I begged. Please let me explain. Please. Explain what? Taupe screamed. Explain how you're a monster? Explain how you're evil? Explain how you made money from violating us. I didn't have a choice. I was poor. My family needed help. I didn't know what else to do. You had a choice. Chioma was crying now, angry tears streaming down her face. You could have asked for help. You could have told us. We would have helped you. We were your friends. I couldn't. You couldn't what? Humble yourself? Admit you needed help? So instead you did this. She held up my phone, shaking it at me. There are over 1,000 pictures here. Precious. 1,000. This wasn't about surviving. This was about greed. She was right. She was absolutely right. Blessing was still going through my phone. She opened my banking app. Jesus Christ. She has over 3 million naira in her account. 3 million naira from selling our dignity. That's not all from, I started. But I was interrupted by a slap. Hard and stinging. Jennifer had slapped me. Then another slap from Blessing. You witch. You traitor. You betrayer. And then they were all on me. Hitting. Kicking. Pulling my hair. Slapping. Punching. I didn't fight back. I just curled into a ball on the floor and let them beat me. I deserved it. Every blow. Every kick. Every insult they hurled at me. How could you do this to us? We loved you. We trusted you. You're not our sister. You're a demon. By now, other girls from neighboring rooms had heard the commotion. They were crowding at the door, trying to see what was happening. What's going on? Why are they beating Precious? Someone call security. Blessing, still holding my phone, turned to the girls at the door. You want to know why we're beating her? Because she's been taking pictures of us for 3 years and selling them online. Gasps. Screams. More girls pushed into the room. What? She did what? Is that true? Someone grabbed my phone from Blessing and started scrolling through it. Oh my God, that's me. That's me in the picture. When did she? How did she? More screams. More anger. More girls recognizing themselves in the pictures. And then more blows. Girls I barely knew were hitting me. Girls whose pictures I had taken months ago. Girls I had forgotten about. The beating went on for what felt like hours, but was probably only a few minutes. Someone must have called the man or security, because suddenly they were there, pushing through the crowd, pulling the girls off me. Stop! Stop! What's going on here? One of the security men, a big man called Baba Salah, grabbed Chioma's arm as she tried to kick me again. Madam, what is the problem? Why are you people attacking this girl? Blessing held up my phone. She's been taking pictures of us and selling them online. The evidence is all on this phone. Baba Salik's face changed. He looked at me, then at the phone, then back at me. Is this true? I couldn't speak. I just nodded. Another security man picked me up from the floor. I couldn't see properly. My left eye was swollen shut. My lip was split and bleeding. My head was throbbing. Everything hurt. We're taking her to our office, Baba Sala said. All of you involved should come and write statements. They escorted me out of the hostel. I could hear girls whispering, gossiping, cursing me as I passed. That's the girl who was taking pictures. I heard she made millions from it. How evil can someone be? She seemed so nice. You can never trust anyone these days. My phone was seized as evidence. My car keys were taken. Everything was taken. I spent that night in the security office, writing my statement, answering questions, crying. By the next morning, the whole campus knew. The story had spread like wildfire. Have you heard about that girl who was taking pictures of her roommates? I heard she made millions selling them online. The one who bought a car? I knew that money wasn't clean. She was always in church, too, pretending to be holy. My parents were called. They came to campus. When my mother saw me, saw my swollen face, saw the shame in my eyes, she collapsed. They had to rush her to the campus clinic. My father couldn't even look at me. He just sat there, his head in his hands, crying silently. The police were called. Tony was tracked down and arrested. His whole website was shut down. But it was too late. Those pictures were already out there. Somewhere on the internet. Forever. I was expelled from school 3 weeks later after the disciplinary committee hearing. The case was handed over to the police. I was charged with violation of privacy, distribution of explicit content without consent, and cybercrime. My parents disowned me. My mother told me she no longer had a daughter named Precious. My auntie, who had borrowed money for my school fees, called me once. She didn't shout. She didn't curse. She just said, "I'm disappointed." That's all. I'm just so disappointed. Then she hung up. That was 6 months ago. I'm out on bail now while awaiting trial. I'm living in a small room in a cheap area. My car was sold to pay for legal fees. My bank account was frozen as part of the investigation. I have nothing. No family. No friends. No future. No dignity. The girls whose pictures I took, some of them are suing me. Some of them have had to drop out of school because the pictures leaked and they couldn't handle the shame. Some of them attempted suicide. Kayamika tried to kill herself. She took a whole bottle of sleeping pills. They found her in time, rushed her to the hospital, pumped her stomach. She survived. But when I heard about it, something inside me broke completely. She had tried to kill herself because of what I did to her. That kind girl who had shared her things with me, who had been kind to me from day one. I wanted to visit her in the hospital, to apologize, to beg for forgiveness. But her family got a restraining order against me. I'm not allowed within 500 meters of her. She almost sent me one message. Just one. 3 months ago. It said, "I hope it was worth it." That's all. 4 words. But those 4 words haunt me every single day. Was it worth it? I sit in my small room every night and I ask myself that question. Was it worth it? I made over 5 million naira in 3 years. I bought a car. I rented a nice apartment. I wore nice clothes. I ate good food. I helped my family. But I lost everything. I lost my education. 3 years of university, gone. I was supposed to graduate this year. I was supposed to make my parents proud. Instead, I'm a disgrace. I lost my family. My mother won't talk to me. My father won't look at me. My brothers changed their surname on social media because they don't want to be associated with me. I lost my future. Who will employ me now? Who will trust me? Who will want anything to do with the girl who violated over 1,000 women? I lost my soul. When I look in the mirror now, I don't recognize the person staring back at me. I don't know who I am anymore. I used to be precious. Now I'm just a shell. An empty, broken shell. But the worst part? The absolute worst part? I didn't even lose my freedom for a good reason. I didn't steal to save someone's life. I didn't hurt people to protect my family from danger. I did it for money. Just money. for things I could have lived without. I could have managed with my 3 outfits. I could have eaten bread and groundnut for 4 years. I could have trekked instead of driving. I could have graduated with my dignity intact. But I chose comfort over character. I chose money over morals. I chose temporary pleasure over permanent peace. And now I have to live with that choice for the rest of my life. The trial started 2 months ago. It's been hell. Walking into that courtroom and seeing all those girls, all those families, all those angry faces staring at me with hate. It's something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. My lawyer is a young man fresh from law school. He's the only one I could afford. He's doing his best, but we both know this case is unwinnable. The prosecution has all the evidence. My phone, my chat history with Tony, bank statements showing all the payments, testimonies from over 50 girls whose pictures were on my phone. 50 girls showed up to testify. 50 out of 1,043. But 50 is enough. More than enough. I had to sit there and listen to each one of them describe how my betrayal affected them. One girl said she couldn't shower for 3 months after she found out. She would just use a face towel to clean herself because she was too traumatized to get even alone. Another girl said she dropped out of school and moved to another state because she couldn't handle the shame. Another girl said her engagement was called off because some of the pictures leaked online and her fiancé's family saw them. They said she was not virtuous enough to marry their son. Another girl broke down crying on the stand. She couldn't even finish her testimony. The judge had to call a recess, and I had to sit there and listen to all of it. Listen to the pain I had caused. Listen to the lives I had destroyed. When it was my turn to testify, my lawyer advised me to show remorse, to apologize, to explain my circumstances. So I did. I stood in front of that courtroom, and I told them everything. About my poverty, about my family's struggles, about how desperate I was, about how I thought I had no choice. I was the one who was wrong. I was the one who betrayed that trust. I hope you find someone who deserves your kindness, someone who will treasure it instead of exploiting it. I'm sorry, Blessing, for everything. Precious, dear Kayamika, I heard you tried to take your life. Twice. When I heard that, I wanted to die, because I knew it was my fault. I knew that I had hurt you so badly that you didn't want to live anymore. You were always the quietest one, the gentlest, the most innocent, and I violated you. I stole your innocence. I shattered your peace. I wish I could go back and stop myself. I wish I could protect you from me. I wish I could take all your pain away. But I can't. I can only say I'm sorry. Words that mean nothing. Words that change nothing. Words that can't undo the damage I've done. Please don't give up on life, Kayamika. Please don't let my evil destroy your future. You have so much to offer the world. So much beauty. So much goodness. What I did to you doesn't define you. It defines me. I'm the monster. You're the victim. Don't carry my shame. It's mine to bear, not yours. I'm sorry I wasn't the friend you deserved. I'm sorry I wasn't the sister you thought I was. Please live, Kayamika. Please heal. Please find joy again. That's all I ask. I'm sorry. Precious. Dear Jennifer. You were the quiet one like me. We studied together. We encouraged each other. We understood each other in a way the others didn't. And I betrayed you. I don't have much to say except that I'm sorry. And I hope you finish your accounting degree. I hope you become successful. I hope you achieve all your dreams. I hope one day, when you think of your university years, the pain I caused you will be just a small part of a mostly beautiful story. I'm sorry. Precious. Dear Taupe, you prayed for me every morning. You included me in your prayers. You called down blessings on my life. And all the while I was doing evil. All the while I was violating you and the others. How did you feel when you found out? Did you feel like your prayers were wasted? Did you feel like God had failed you? I hope you don't blame God for what I did. I hope you don't let my wickedness shake your faith. You have a beautiful spirit, Taupe. A pure, genuine faith. Don't let me take that from you. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep being that light in the darkness. The world needs more people like you, and fewer people like me. I'm sorry I pretended to be holy while doing such unholy things. I'm sorry I was a hypocrite. I'm sorry I was a wolf in sheep's clothing. You deserved a genuine friend, not a fake like me. I'm sorry, precious. These letters remain in my notebook, unsent, unread, just words on paper that change nothing. But writing them helps me face what I've done, helps me acknowledge the real, individual people I hurt. Not just statistics, not just victims, but real human beings with real lives, real dreams, real pain. Chioma, Blessing, Kayamika, Jennifer, Taupe, and over 1,000 others. Over 1,000 lives touched by my evil. Over 1,000 people who will carry the scars of my betrayal forever. Sometimes, late at night, I have conversations with myself, with the old me, the me I used to be before everything went wrong. How did we get here? You know how. You were there. We made choices, bad choices, but I never wanted this. I never wanted to hurt anyone. No one ever does, but we did. Wanting to hurt people isn't required for you to actually hurt them. We hurt them anyway. We were just trying to survive. That's a lie. We were surviving before we took the first picture. Surviving isn't the same as thriving. We wanted to thrive. We wanted comfort. We wanted things. And we were willing to hurt people to get those things. We were helping our family. Our family didn't ask us to hurt other people's children. Our parents raised us better than that. We made that choice on our own. But we were poor. Do you remember what it felt like? Do you remember the shame? The hunger? The helplessness? Yes, I remember. But I also remember something else. I remember that there were hundreds of other poor students in that university. Thousands of poor girls in Lagos. Millions of poor people in Nigeria. And most of them didn't become predators. Most of them suffered with dignity. It's not fair. Rich people have it so easy. You're right. It's not fair. Life isn't fair. But that doesn't give us the right to make other people suffer. Our pain doesn't justify causing pain to others. If I could go back and change it, I would. Would you? Really? Because we said that before. We said just this once. We said last time. We said I'll stop tomorrow. But we never stopped. Not until we were forced to stop. I hate who we've become. I hate who we've always been. We just hid it better before. The evil was always there. We just gave it permission to come out. Can we ever be forgiven? I don't know. Maybe God can forgive us. But the girls we hurt? I don't think so. And honestly, they shouldn't. Forgiveness is a gift, not an obligation. And we don't deserve gifts. What do we do now? We face the consequences. We serve our time. We live with the guilt. We carry the weight of what we've done for the rest of our lives. That's our punishment. That's our justice. I'm scared. Good. We should be scared. Fear is appropriate when you've done something terrible. Will we ever be happy again? I don't think we deserve to be happy. But maybe one day after we've paid our debt, after we've served our sentence, after we've spent years trying to be better, maybe we can find some kind of peace. Not happiness, but peace. The peace of knowing we've done our time. The peace of knowing we didn't run from our consequences. That's not much to look forward to. No, it's not. But it's all we have. And it's more than we deserve. These conversations don't make me feel better. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to keep me honest. Keep me from lying to myself about what I did and why I did it. Today I got a letter from my mother. The first communication from her in 6 months. It was short. Just one paragraph. Precious, I cannot forgive what you did. I cannot understand how my daughter became a monster. But you are still my daughter, and I am still your mother. When you go to prison, I will come to visit you. Not because I approve of you, but because that is what mothers do. May God have mercy on your soul. I cried for 3 hours after reading that letter. She's not forgiving me. She's not excusing me. But she's not abandoning me completely either. It's more than I deserve. Much more. My trial verdict will be delivered next week. My lawyer says I should prepare for the worst. 5 to 7 years in prison. A permanent criminal record. A future filled with doors that will never open for me. I'm 22 years old. When I get out of prison, I'll be 27 to 29. Almost 30. With no degree. No skills. A criminal record. A reputation as someone who violated over 1,000 women. What kind of life awaits me after prison? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I have to face it, because running is not an option. Running would mean I didn't learn anything. Running would mean I'm still that coward who chose the easy way instead of the right way. So I'll face it. I'll serve my time. I'll carry my shame. I'll live with my guilt. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere down the line I can do something good. Something that helps other people instead of hurting them. I don't know what that looks like yet. Maybe I'll work with young girls, warning them about the dangers of quick money. Maybe I'll advocate for stronger privacy laws. Maybe I'll volunteer at organizations that help victims of cyber crimes. I don't know, but I have years in prison to think about it. Years to plan. Years to prepare myself to be someone different. Someone better. I know I can never make up for what I did. The damage is permanent. The pain is lasting. The scars are forever. But maybe I can prevent someone else from making the same mistakes I made. Maybe I can save one girl from becoming what I became. That's my hope. It's a small hope. Maybe even a foolish hope. But it's all I have. If you're watching this, listening to this, or reading this, I want to talk to you directly. Maybe you're in a situation like I was. Poor, desperate, struggling, looking for a way out. And someone has offered you something that seems easy. Something that requires you to hurt other people, but promises you money in return. Please, please don't do it. I know what it feels like to be poor. I know the shame. I know the hunger. I know the desperation. I know how tempting it is when someone waves money in front of your face and says, all you have to do is this one small thing. But it's never just one small thing. It's never just once. It's never as simple as they make it sound. That first picture I took destroyed my life. That first picture led to 1,000 more. That first compromise led to a complete destruction of my character. Sin is like that. It starts small. Just one picture. Just one lie. Just one betrayal. But it grows. It multiplies. It consumes you until you don't even recognize yourself anymore. I thought I could control it. I thought I could stop whenever I wanted. I thought I was smarter than the consequences. I was wrong about all of it. If someone is asking you to hurt other people for money, run. Run fast. Run far. Because that money comes with a price you cannot afford to pay. You might think, but precious, I need the money. My family needs help. I have no choice. You have a choice. You always have a choice. It might be a hard choice. It might mean continuing to suffer for a while longer. It might mean swallowing your pride and asking for help. But you have a choice. I could have asked for help. I could have applied for scholarships. I could have gotten a legitimate job. I could have looked for student loans. I could have deferred school for a year and worked to save money. There were so many options I didn't explore because I wanted the easy way. I wanted the fast money. I wanted to skip the struggle and jump straight to comfort. And look where that got me. Some of you might be thinking, but I'm different. I'm smarter. I won't get caught. That's what I thought too. I was careful. I was smart. I had a system. I thought I was untouchable. But you will get caught. Maybe not immediately. Maybe not in the way you expect. But sin always catches up with you. Always. And even if you never get caught by the law, you'll get caught by your conscience. You'll get caught by your nightmares. You'll get caught by the weight of what you've done. I couldn't sleep for months before I was caught. Every night, I would see the faces of the girls I betrayed. Every day, I would jump at the slightest sound, afraid that someone had discovered my secret. That's no way to live. Trust me, no amount of money is worth destroying your soul. No amount of money is worth becoming a monster. No amount of money is worth losing your humanity. I made 5 million naira in 3 years, and I lost everything. My education, my family, my friends, my future, my peace, my dignity, my soul. Was it worth it? No. 1,000 times no. 1,000,000 times no. If I could go back, if I could stand at that crossroads again, I would choose poverty. I would choose suffering. I would choose hunger. Because poverty ends, suffering ends, hunger ends, but the consequences of evil last forever. The girls I hurt will carry those scars forever. Their trauma doesn't disappear just because I got arrested. Their pain doesn't stop just because I said sorry. I destroyed lives. Permanently. Irreversibly. And I have to live with that for the rest of my life. Don't be like me. Please don't be like me. If you're struggling, reach out for help. Tell someone. Your parents, your teachers, your pastors, your friends. Someone who actually cares about you will help you find a legitimate solution. And if you're already doing something wrong, stop. Stop now. Before it's too late. Before you accumulate more victims. Before the consequences become unbearable. Delete the pictures. End the relationship with whoever is paying you to do evil. Come clean. Face the consequences now while they're still manageable. Yes, there will be consequences, but they will be smaller than the consequences you'll face if you continue. And you'll be able to live with yourself. You'll be able to sleep at night. Your dignity is not for sale. Your character is not for sale. Your soul is not for sale. Don't sell them for any amount of money. Learn from my mistake. Learn from my fall. Learn from my destruction. My name is precious, but there's nothing precious left about me. I threw away my own value the day I decided other people's dignity was for sale. Don't make my mistakes. Don't walk my path. Don't become what I became. Choose the hard right over the easy wrong. Choose dignity over dollars. Choose character over cash. Choose humanity over money. Because in the end, that's all you have. Your character, your integrity, your humanity. Once you sell those, you can't buy them back. I learned that the hard way. Please, learn from me instead. And if you're someone who has been violated the way I violated others, I want you to know something. It wasn't your fault. You did nothing wrong. You trusted someone, and they betrayed you. That says something about them, not about you. Your dignity was stolen, but it's not gone. Your worth was attacked, but it's not destroyed. You are more than what was done to you. Please get help. Talk to a therapist. Lean on people who truly love you. Don't carry this burden alone. And know that people like me, people who did this to you, we deserve every consequence we face. You didn't deserve what happened to you, but we deserve what happens to us. Justice might feel slow. The legal system might feel frustrating, but it's working. People like me are being caught. We're being prosecuted. We're being punished. Hold on. Heal. Live. Thrive. Don't let people like me steal your future along with your privacy. You are stronger than you know. You are more valuable than you realize. You are loved more than you can imagine. What was done to you doesn't define you. It defines us, the perpetrators, the violators, the monsters. You are the victim. We are the villains. Never let anyone reverse that. My name is Precious Adeyemi. I am 22 years old. I have destroyed my life and the lives of over 1,000 women. I am facing 5 to 7 years in prison. I deserve every second of it. This is my confession. This is my warning. This is my plea. Don't be like me. Don't make my mistakes. Don't throw your life away for money. It's not worth it. Nothing is worth it. I destroyed my life one photograph at a time. Don't destroy yours. That's all I have to say. May God have mercy on my soul, and may those I hurt find healing, peace, and justice.